Hello, I am Mayor Elaine O'Neal, and I'm pleased to welcome you to the second presentation of the 2022 Durham City County Martin Luther King Jr. Employee Observance Program. Our theme this year is inspired by Reverend Dr. King's speech, "We must love each other," which still resonates for our times and experiences today. In the first presentation, we heard Reverend Lakeisha Bradshaw Easter talk about the power of healing. Speaking to us next is Mr. Stan Kimmer, President of Total Engagement Consulting by Kimmer. Mr. Kimmer will deliver the second part of our celebration. Mr. Kimmer is a nationally recognized consultant and speaker on all areas of workplace diversity with a deep expertise in LGBTQ diversity. Please listen and consider his remarks on allyship, the practice of emphasizing social justice and inclusion, and how it delivers love, hope, and healing.
Hello, I am Stan Kimmer, a local diversity consultant and trainer, and I am truly honored to have been invited by Durham County to be one of your speakers in your 2022 Dr. Martin Luther King annual program. This year's theme is Love, Hope, and Healing, and I'll be sharing about the increased growth and interest I have seen in one area that can truly give us hope toward building a more equitable and fair society, and that is allyship. As more people step out to be allies with various people and communities, we can have increased hope in realizing Dr. King's vision of a nation where little Black boys and little Black girls will be able to join hands with little white boys and white girls as sisters and brothers. So let's start by defining the two key words in this short talk, hope and allyship. First, hope. Dr. King said 2 months prior to his assassination, "We must accept finite disappointment, but never lose infinite hope." These words serve as a powerful rallying cry for hope in the face of many obstacles, including the murder of and violence toward Black, Brown, and Asian Americans, the persistent racism and injustice that many people continue to support and propagate, disparities in healthcare, education, economics, our justice system, and more. Psychologist Shane Lopez once stated that hope is the belief that the future will be better than the present, along with the belief that you have the power to make it so. Another definition is that hope is an optimistic state of mind that is based on an expectation of positive outcomes with respect to events and circumstances in one's life or the world at large. And second, let's discuss allyship. I see the increased interest in and discussion about allyship as one of the reasons why we can have hope. My favorite definition of an ally and allyship was penned by Catherine Turner of Global Citizen LLC, a leading diversity and leadership consultant living here in Durham. Catherine writes, "An ally is a person with relative privilege and power who builds trusting relationships and acts in solidarity and accountability to people and/or groups with marginalized identities without detracting from their power and voice." Lindsay Ray McIntyre, Microsoft's Chief Diversity Officer, shares this definition. "An ally is somebody who intentionally engages with empathy and care to support someone else in the way they would want to be supported." One of the beauties of allyship is that because of intersectionality, the concept that each of us has numerous aspects of our diversity, some that give us relative power and privilege, and some that give us relative marginalization, at the same time, we can both be allies to others, and others can be allies to us. White men and white women, and also white non-binary people, can be allies to people of color. Men can be allies to women. Heterosexuals can be allies to members of the LGBTQ plus community. Able-bodied people can be allies to people with disabilities. Experienced parents can be allies to a couple or a single person having their first child, and so on. Let us explore more about what Dr. King said about allyship. What does it mean to be an ally, and what should allies be doing? Dr. King said, "We cannot walk alone, and as we walk, we must make the pledge that we shall march ahead. We cannot turn back." He also said, "Being an ally means being willing to act with and for others in the pursuit of ending oppression and creating equality." The 14th Dalai Lama said, "It is not enough to be compassionate. You must act." So for our Dr. Martin Luther King 2022 observance, I do want us to grow in our hope for a better nation and world and resolve to be allies to others. Here are some actions you can take to grow an allyship. First, educate yourself about different identities and experiences. Step outside your own comfort zone to build relationships with people very different from yourself, and listen with an open heart to their stories. Challenge your own discomfort and prejudices. Learn and practice the skills of being an ally. And fourth, take action. Actually do something to help create interpersonal, societal, and institutional change. As I see many more companies, nonprofits, and governmental bodies provide training and programs around allyship, that does give me hope for that better future that Dr. King envisioned. And remembering that Dr. King was not only a civil rights leader, but also a church pastor and minister, I'll close with one verse from the Bible that summarizes allyship in another way. Philippians 2:3 states, "In humility, consider others better than yourselves. Each of you should look not only to your own interests, but also to the interests of others." So let's make 2022 a year of hope. That, as Dr. King also said, the arc of the moral universe is long, but it bends toward justice. Change takes a long time, but it does happen. Each of us who works for social change is a part of the mosaic of all who work for justice. Together, we can accomplish multitudes. And being grounded in hope, growing in allyship, are ways we can all help make this change happen. And let it be so. And in addition, let's each do our part. Thank you.